In the thick fog of revolution, when the Russian Empire was tearing at the seams, one man vanished from Petrograd and another quietly stepped into the spotlight. What did Joseph Stalin do to Vladimir Lenin? Was it an act of loyalty or the first move in a silent power grab? Welcome back to Chronicles of Legends, where history's turning points come alive. Today, we unravel the lesser-known episode that saw Stalin smuggle Lenin to safety and begin his own shadow ascent to leadership. It was July 1917, and Petrograd was on fire. The failed July Days uprising had just exposed the Bolsheviks. Armed workers and soldiers took to the streets under the banner of revolution, but the timing was wrong. The provisional government cracked down hard. Arrest warrants were issued for the top Bolsheviks, and Lenin was at the top of the list. For Lenin, the danger was very real. If captured, he would likely be executed for treason. At this critical moment, someone needed to act fast. That man was Joseph Stalin. Stalin wasn't yet the iron-fisted dictator we know today. In 1917, he was a committed revolutionary, rising within the ranks of the Bolsheviks, trusted, cunning, and bold. Convinced that Lenin would not survive if he surrendered, Stalin persuaded him to flee. But flight wasn't enough. He needed to vanish completely. Stalin shaved Lenin's beard and moustache, giving him an unrecognizable appearance. In the dead of night, he smuggled him through the streets of Petrograd, disguising him as a laborer. They went to Primorsky station, and from there to a small shack north of the city, hidden in the rural outskirts. Stalin then guided Lenin across the border, into the Finnish countryside, where he would remain in secret, away from the eyes of the government. While Lenin was in hiding, the Bolshevik party needed leadership, and Stalin seized the moment. He stepped into a vacuum of authority and became a central figure in directing party operations. While still loyal to Lenin in public, Stalin's growing role in party affairs allowed him to establish influence and form key alliances with figures like Lev Kamenev and Grigory Zinoviev. Behind the scenes, Stalin was preparing not just for Lenin's return, but for a future in which Lenin might not come back at all. Lenin did return later that year, in time to lead the October Revolution and seize power. He remained grateful to Stalin for his help in the escape, but the seeds of tension had already been planted. In the years that followed, Lenin would become increasingly wary of Stalin's behavior, accusing him of being too rude, power-hungry, and disrespectful to other party members. In one of his final writings, the infamous Lenin Testament, Lenin even recommended Stalin be removed as general secretary, but by then it was too late. What did Stalin do to Lenin? He saved him from death, but also took advantage of his absence to build his own authority. The act was both heroic and opportunistic. It's a moment in history where loyalty and ambition intertwined, foreshadowing the darker days that would follow. As with many moments in Stalin's rise, it was never just about saving the revolution. It was about positioning himself to one day lead it. History is not just about what happened, it's about who shaped it, quietly, strategically, and sometimes in the shadows. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and tap the bell icon so you never miss an episode of Chronicles of Legends. Until next time, keep questioning the past, because that's where the future was written.